Welcome. In this video we will see basic Linux command. In this video we'll do all kind of activity on Linux operating system. In this case Kali Linux, that is Kali Linux, best known operating system for pen testing. It is important to understand basic Linux command to avoid any kind of trauma of not getting anything in later on part of course. You can skip this video if you know basic Linux command pretty well. So let's begin. The Kali Linux operating system used either in a terminal mode where you type command or in a Windows Explorer style graphical user interface, as we do in Windows or Mac. So let's begin. First I'll go to start and open VirtualBox, select Kali Linux and hit on start, switch, OK, continue. Kali Linux loads up in VirtualBox. I will just fast forward. Kali Linux loaded up. Now click on Other to choose different account. Write username as root and password for root is Tor, T-O-O-R, and hit on login. As you can see here, Kali Linux has graphical user interface mode. As you can see here, Kali Linux has graphical user interface. You can see computer icon as you can see in Windows and Mac. I'll open computer by double click. You can see here it has two drives, one is for CD and DVD and other for file system. In file system you can see all the important files related to Kali Linux. Now I'll open up root. I have saved some folders in root. Creating a folder, creating a text file, deleting a file, everything is same. If you right click on folder you can see same option. You can see same option which you notice in Windows and Mac, that is copy, move to trash, that is delete, send to properties and so on. So the graphical user interface is similar to Mac and Windows. But the Kali Linux operating system is well known for pen testing, so all kind of pen testing activity we have to do it in terminal. In this video we will just see basic Linux command. The first command we will see is man. This command brings up the online Unix manual. Use it on each command. Like for example, I'll write man pwd. We will see the manual for pwd command. Pwd shows what directory you are in. To come back I will quit, that is I will press Q. Now I will write pwd to no present working directory. Root is my present working directory, that is home in user interface. To list all the files in root, I will write ls. As you can see here, the ls command has listed all the directories in root, that is Amit, Cracking, Desktop, DWA, and so on. In user interface, to change directory, I have to just double click on directory and the directory will be changed. But in terminal, I have to write cd, that is change directory, and directory name, that is cd-dvwa. To list the file inside dvwa, I will write ls. Now I will write cd, that is change directory, space double dot, and press enter. This command moves up one directory. Now I will go to DVA directory inside DVA directory. To do same in terminal, I have to write cd, that is change directory, space dvwa/dvwa. Now to move back to the root directory, I will write cd space diddly. Now we are back to the root directory. Now let me delete the directory so that I show you how to create directory. In graphical user interface, I'll just right click on it and hit on move to trash. Now to create directory in graphical user interface, I have to just right click and hit on create new folder, whereas in terminal, I have to write mkdir, that is make directory space Amit, that is directory name, and the directory is created. To remove directory, rmdir, that is remove directory space directory name. The directory is removed. ls to list the files in directory. Now I will again create the directory. Directory is here. Let me create a text document here. I'll just rename it as AB. To remove AB, I have to just type rm space AB, that is remove AB. Let me create this text document again to demonstrate copy and move commands. To copy, I'll write cp space AB space Amit. From this command, AB will be copied to Amit directory. Now I will delete this AB from Amit to move AB to Amit. For that, I will write mv AB space Amit /. You can see here AB is not here in root directory, it is in Amit directory. Now to unzip this dvwa.zip file, I will write unzip space dvwa. As you can see here, dvwa.zip file got unzipped. There are many Linux commands which I can't teach all, which you have to use according to circumstances. So for that you have to know how to find the particular command using Google search engine. For example, creating a text document in Linux. If you have no idea how to create text document in Linux, just search for create txt in Linux. You will get many search results. Pick any one of the link and know how to create text document in Linux. That's how you have to find Linux command according to your necessity. That's all in Linux basic command. Thank you for watching this video. Welcome. In this video we will see special commands related to hacking, which you will see them frequently in this course. If config shows network interface used and will also configure a network interface. Config shows network interface used and will also configure a network interface. Ping used to see if any other system is reachable. Aircrack-ng commands. Aircrack-ng is a software suite bundled into Kali to do pen testing on wireless 802.11 networks. We have not used all aircrack-ng commands in this course, but here in this video I am listing them all. Each of these commands has a switch that can be added to get the desired output. For example, airmon ng start LAN 0. When run will put a wireless network card into monitor mode. Airmon ng lists the current wireless adapter being used and its chipset. Also used to put a wireless card into monitor mode. Aircrack-ng cracks WEP and WPA keys using dictionary attacks. AirDecap-ng decrypts WEP or WPA encrypted capture files with known key. AirPlay-ng, it's a packet injector. AirDump-ng, packet sniffer places air traffic into PCAP or force file and shows information about networks. AirTun-ng, virtual tunnel interface creator. PacketForge-ng, create encrypted packets for injection. IVS tools, tools to merge and convert. Airbase-ng incorporates technique for attacking client as opposed to access point. Here in this course, access point means router. AirDclock-ng removes WEP clocking from PCAP files. AirDriver-ng, tools for managing wireless drivers. AeroLib-ng, stores and manages SSID and password list and computer pairwise master key. AirServe-ng allows you to access the wireless card from other computers. Buddy-ng, helper server for SSID-ng run on a computer server. EASSIDE-ng, a tool for communicating to an access point without the WEP key. TKIP turn NG, WPA or TKIP attack. WESSIDENG, automatic tool for recovering WEP key. Till now I just roughly listed all the commands, but still there are many more commands like river, wash, which you will see in this course. That's all in this video. Thank you for watching this video. Welcome. In this video we will see getting a handshake and a data capture. A data capture or a handshake is a captured password that is got when two devices talk wirelessly. The data capture will be stored in a file on a computer. It still will be encrypted and needed to be cracked, which is when a dictionary will be used to guess the password. This is a two-step process, capturing the data file being the first. Set up a test environment with WPA or WPA2 encrypted router and set a password on it. A second device needs to be logged into the router so that the encrypted password file can be caught. Kali Linux should be up and running. Open a terminal window. Run the command ermon-ng to see if your USB adapter shows up. Mine shows up. Once you know that the adapter is connected and operating, run this command ermon-ng start WLAN 0 to get the adapter into monitor mode. If all goes well, the screen will scroll by with some information which will say monitor mode enabled on Mon 0. Now we want to see what router or access point are out there. So we run the command aerodump ng mon 0. A picture like this should come up and show all the routers out there. Here we select the target router and copy the BSS ID and channel number. Use Ctrl+C to stop the terminal window and copy the BSS ID. Next, we want to leave the original terminal window alone and open a second terminal window. Here we are going to set up the adapter to a data capture on router we selected. After we do this, we will have to wait for a wireless device to connect to the router and it will do a data capture of the password. To do this, we do the following command: aerodump ng c channel number w our file name BSS ID of access point mon 0. This is how it looks for me. W syntax is telling aerodump ng to write a file to the drive. It can be given any name. Then it should go into monitoring the access point for a data capture. At this point, we could simply wait for someone to connect wirelessly to the router. It can be any device, their laptop, desktop, or smartphone. When they connect, the password will be transmitted back and forth to the device. If we wait, then we stay in passive mode and no one can detect we are there. The top right of the terminal window will display WPA handshake in the upper right when this happens. Once it says WPA handshake on top right, the file it is done and the file is captured and returned to the drive. There is a way to speed this up if you know someone has a wireless device connected to the router by de-authenticating them or kicking them, forcing them to reconnect. This will most likely be recorded by the router, so this is not a passive method. To do this, open another terminal window and type airplay ng05a target basis ID space mon 0. Like for me, here it is. Airplay ng05a basis ID mon 0. If you see in root directory, we have successfully captured WPA handshake. In next video, we will see how to use aircrack and a dictionary to crack a WPA data capture. That's all in this video. Thank you for watching this video. Welcome. In this video, we will see WEP hacking. WEP is the original encryption standard used on routers. WEP is notoriously easy to hack. Even though WEP is rarely seen anymore. Also, this is a good place to start for someone new to wireless pen testing before moving on to WPA encryption and other wireless hacks. Set up a test router and log into it, setting up WEP for wireless security to use as a target router. Have one other computer, tablet or smartphone connected to it wirelessly, since the encrypted data between two will need to be captured. The basic idea of this attack is to capture as much traffic as possible using AeroDumpNG. Each data packet has associated 3 bytes annihilation vector called force. After the attack is launched, the goal is to capture as many encrypted data packets on force as possible, then use aircrackng on captured file and show the password. At this point, Kali Linux should be running along with the WEP encrypted router and wireless connected device. Also, a wireless USB adapter should be plugged in and ready. Open a terminal window, type in the command aeromon ng to see if your USB adapter is recognized by Kali. It should show the interface, chipset and driver. If it doesn't, then some troubleshoot will have to be done as to why the adapter is not seen. Next, type aeromon ng start plan 0 to set the USB adapter into monitor mode. Now we need to see what router are out there and find test router. To do this, run the command aerodumpng mon 0. After this command is run, a screen will come up showing the routers in range and their information. The test machine that was set up should be seen along with its information. The information needed will be BSS ID, channel and ESS ID. The test machine is here with the encryption WEP. Don't close the terminal window, press Ctrl+C to stop it from using USB adapter and leave it to refer back. Next, WEP encrypted data packets need to be captured. To do this, aerodumpng command is used along with the syntax called switches. For me, this is the command. Aerodumpng is the command. W is a switch saying to write a file called D-Link to the drive. C is a switch saying the target channel number. BSS ID is another switch saying which BSS ID to use. Finally, mon0 is the command to use the USB adapter enabled on mon0. Change the file name, channel and BSS ID to match your test router. Copy the information from the first terminal window. Copy and pasting the BSS ID into new terminal window is much quicker than typing it for most. That is aerodumpng W ESS ID, C channel number, BSS ID, and MON 0. After this is done correctly, a window will come up and show information about the target router. The main feedback we need to watch is the beacons and the data. The numbers will start at 0 and grow as traffic is passed between the router and another device. As these numbers grow, they are being captured in the file specified in previous command. For this example, it would be a file named dlink. Force need to grow big to crack the password, usually at least 20,000 plus, but ideally 100,000 plus. At this point, someone can simply wait for the force to grow large enough to crack the password, but there is a way to speed things up. To speed up the force captured, open a third terminal window, letting the second run capturing data. In the new terminal window, the airplay ng command will be used in a two-part process. First, use the command airplay ng 10a basis id mon 0. So for this example, it will be airplay ng 10a my basis id mon 0. After this run, the command airplay ng 3 bss id mon 0. This will begin sending out ARP requests and data, and the beacons should begin to grow quickly. Again, speeding up the capturing of force is not necessary but handy. Once enough force data is captured, the password can be cracked using aircrackng. Aircrackng will be used on the captured data file. Aircrackng can be run at any time, even when there is not enough data captured. It will say on the screen it needs more if there is not enough. To use aircrackng, we need the data file being written to the hard drive. Open a new terminal window and type the command ls to see the file. The one aircrackng needs is the .cap file. To start aircrackng, run the command aircrackng file name. So here, like I have written here, aircrack will begin to run and start to crack the password. Here is what it looks when it is done. Welcome, in this video we will see Wi-Fi hacking with Reaver but using Kali 2.0. I have already made a video on Wi-Fi hacking with Reaver but using Kali first version, which you saw in previous video. I made this video because students were downloading Kali 2.0 and most of them were facing difficulty in Wi-Fi hacking with Reaver. There is a very small minute difference between 2.0 and first version, which we will see in this video. First, find your wireless card like we did in previous video, that is IW. First open terminal and type iwconfig and press enter. You should see a wireless device in the subsequent list. Most likely it will be named WLAN 0. But if you have more than one wireless card or a more unusual networking setup, it may be named something different. Assuming your wireless card interface name is LAN 0 like me, execute the command airmon ng. This kind of output you should get on airmon ng. Now let us put wireless card into monitor mode by typing airmon ng start LAN 0. So many processes are running, so it's asking here to kill it. One process is already running, so it is asking me to kill the before one. To kill it, as it is mentioned here, I have to type airmon ng check kill. So let's write it. Airmon ng space check space kill. And I will hit enter. The process is now killed. After killing the process, again I will try to put the wireless card into monitor mode. For that, I will type, as I wrote before, that is airmon ng start WLAN 0. This command will output the name of monitor mode interface, which we will make a note of. Most likely it will be mon0, but in Kali Linux 2.0 it will be WLAN 0 mon, not just mon0. I'm repeating it again, it will be WLAN 0 mon. The only difference between Kali first version and second version is the monitor mode on first version will be enabled on mon0, whereas in Kali Linux 2.0 it will be enabled on WLAN 0 mon, as it is mentioned here. So next step is as usual as we did in last time. To find the BSS ID of the router you want to crack, you need to get the unique identifier of the router you are attempting to crack so that you can point the reaver in the right direction. To do this, execute the command aerodump ng lan0 mon. In the before video, we did aerodump ng lan0, but here lan0 is replaced with lan0 mon. So type aerodump ng lan0 mon. You'll see a list of wireless networks in range. Select the one which you want to crack. I will opt for Linksys, which is protected by WPA2 and PSK is enabled. The both of the option is mandatory. It may be WPA or WPA2. Anyone will work and it should have a PSK enabled as it is here. To stop this list from refreshing, I will press Ctrl+C. Now we will finally crack a network's WPA password with Reaver. To do that, you have to just execute the command reaver-i monitor interface, that is LAN0 mon -b, and the BSS ID of the network, which I will copy from this above, which is for Linksys, which I want to crack. I'll just copy it and paste it here, space -vv. Now I will hit on enter. You have to just sit back and let Reaver work. Reaver will now try series of pins on the router in brute force attack, one after the other. This will take a while. In last previous video, I had hacked the same Linksys router, which took 6 hours. The same kind of output and same kind of process will happen again in this Kali Linux 2.0. The difference is just the monitor mode on which it will be enabled. Instead of mon0, it will be enabled on lan0 mon. The same kind of output after 6 hours you will get, which we got in previous video. I will not do this 6 hours again on 2.0, as you will get the output like this, which we got in last video for Kali first version. That's all. That is the minor difference between the first version and second version. If you got few more problems in Kali 2.0, post it in Q&A section. I'll try to check it out what kind of problems you are facing. If the problem is too big and everyone is facing it, I will sure make a video like I made this video. That's all. Thank you for watching this video. Welcome. In this video we will see countermeasure for Reaver. How to protect yourself against Reaver attacks on your secured Wi-Fi since the threat Reaver. How to protect yourself against Reaver attacks on your secured Wi-Fi since the threat lies in the implementation of WPS. Your network should be safe if you can simply turn off WPS, or even better if your router doesn't support it in the first place. Found it to occur with every Linksys and Cisco Wallet wireless access point. On all of the Linksys router, you cannot manually disable WPS, while the web interface has a radio button that allegedly turns off WPS configuration. It's still on and still vulnerable, so that's kind of a bummer. You may still want to try disabling WPS on your router if you can, and test it against router to see if it helps. You could also set up MAC address filtering on your router, which only allows specifically whitelisted devices to connect to your network, but a sufficiently savvy hacker could detect the MAC address of a whitelisted device and use a MAC address spoofing to imitate that computer. I have the open source router firmware DDWRT installed on my router and has unable to use router to crack its password. As it turns out, DDWRT does not support WPS. If that's got you're interested in DDWRT, check their supported device list to see if your router is supported. It's a good security upgrade, and DDWRT can also do cool things like monitor your internet usage, set up a network hard drive, act as a whole house ad blocker, boost the range of your Wi-Fi network, and many more. It essentially turns your $60 router into $600 router. That's all in countermeasure for River. Thank you for watching this video. Welcome. In this video we will see using the built-in Kali word list rockU.txt. Word list or dictionaries are text-based files with names, address, phone number with all matter of combination to try and guess a password. Collecting good word list or creating your own is always a good idea. Kali comes with a built-in word list to use called rockU.txt. It is stored in user/share/wordlist directory and will need to be extracted. The file is in gzip, so we need to use gunzip to extract it. Open a terminal window, change to directory rocku is located in cd user share wordlist. Use the ls command to see the rocku file. Use the gunzip command to extract the file, that is gunzip rocku.txt.gz. Use the ls command again and the file should be extracted. Open rocku.txt to see the list of passwords. That's all in built-in Kali word list rocku.txt. Thank you for watching this video. Welcome. In this video we will see using aircrack and dictionary to crack a WPA data capture. At this point you should already have a WPA handshake file and Kali Linux running. Getting a good dictionary can be hard, but finding good ones or creating them by yourself is necessary to try and use this method. Keep in mind the dictionary file is only simple text file that can be edited with any text editing program. Kali comes with built-in dictionary called rocku.txt. See section using the built-in Kali word list rocku.txt to learn how to use it. If you know a person well enough, you can try and type as many guesses as you can. The default storage for WPA handshake is under root and will be there under the name it was given when captured. Open a terminal window and type command ls. The data capture should be there. The file type we want to use is .cap file. The dictionary we will use for this example is called dict.txt. We will be using aircrack to do this cracking. That is aircrack ng file name w dictionary location, where the file name is the handshake file that was captured and the dictionary location is part to the dictionary. The location of dictionary is left to you. I have just saved it under root. The default location of a handshake file is under root and is whatever name it was called when captured. We will be using a dictionary called dict.txt for this example. So the command is as shown here. If done right, AirCrack should start and begin to crack the WPA handshake capture with dictionary. If the dictionary finds it, it will show as key found. If not, then try another dictionary. For this example, I edited text dictionary file and put the password in to show what it looks when it is found. So that's all in using AirCrack and a dictionary to crack a WPA data capture. Thank you for watching this video. Welcome. In this video, you will see using Hydra to gain access to admin login of a router. When someone buys a new router, they need to set it up with a password for the Wi-Fi, connect to the internet, and so on. To do this, they must open a browser and connect to the router by typing in the default gateway IP address such as 192.168.0.1, and they will be presented with the admin login page of the router. All routers have a default username and password for the admin login that should always be changed. After entering a username and password in the admin panel, a user then has complete control to set up a router with passwords, port forwarding, and much more. In this video, we will see how to gain access to a router admin login page over a wireless connection. One of the first things we have to do is associate ourselves with the subnet the target router is on, such as 192.168.0.1, since we will need to use the default gateway. Second, we will try default username and password or common username or password. For example, by far most routers use admin as default username and then either no password or admin again as default password. When this doesn't work, we will use Hydra and a word list to brute force the password. For this example, set up a test router and change the default password for the admin login page. Be sure to set the router wireless login password to open since this is a basic tutorial. Start Linux and connect your USB adapter. Enable the USB adapter. First get associated with Wi-Fi router by entering its password from top right corner option. Run the command iwconfig plan 0. This will show if it is associated with the correct access point. Unless you have already connected it, it will not be associated. All routers have a default username and password. The target router is associated and the admin login page should come up. After entering a username at this point, simply trying the default username and password is the first thing to try. If the default username and password fails to log in, then next we will use Hydra to try and brute force the password. Hydra is a tool that will use word list to try and guess the password. One of the first thing we have to do is associate ourselves with as with any brute force method, a long and difficult password will be hard to get. Thankfully, most people don't like difficult passwords. Since we will open a terminal window and type the following: Hydra 192.168.0.1 username or password hyphen for example by L admin capital P as default username user share and then either no password forward slash user forward slash share forward slash word list forward slash rocku.txt. When this doesn't work, we will use Hydra and a word list to brute force the password. http get index.asp. Now we see Hydra finding the username and password router, which is admin and admin default password for the admin. Here is what the main Hydra commands are doing. The router wireless login default gateway IP address will have to be changed to your target machine unless it is the same. The L admin is a switch saying to use admin as a username. Admin is very common default username. To use
For
a
top
word
right
list,
corner
instead
option,
use a capital L
run the
along
command
with the path to the
iwconfig plan
dictionary.
0. This will
For
show if it is
example,
associated with the correct
L
access
user
point.
share word list
Unless you have
rockU.txt.
already connected
The
it, it
capital
will
P
not be
switch is for the
associated.
path to the word list to use on the
The
password.
target router is
In this case,
associated and the
rockU.txt
admin
is
login
word
page
list.
should come up.
Hydra
At this
has many
point, simply
commands
trying the
and
default
switches that
username
can be
and
used to
password is the
personalize an
first thing to
attack.
try.
To see a
The
full
default
list and
username
their
and
meaning,
password fails
type
to log
Hydra
in.
forward
The
slash
next we will
caution
use
in a
Hydra to
terminal
try
window.
and brute force the password.
The word
Hydra
list
is a tool
rockU
that
that
will
comes
use
with
word list to
Linux
try
was
and
used
guess the
in this
password.
example. It does have to be extracted using
As
gunzip
with any
before
brute force
using.
method, a long and difficult password will
Refer
be
to the
hard to
section using the
get.
built-in Kali
Thankfully,
Linux
most
word
people
list
don't like
to
difficult
learn how to
passwords.
extract it.
Open a terminal
If
window
rockU
and
does not
type the
find a
following:
password, then other word
Hydra
lists can be used, which you have to create it by yourself
192.168.01
or download password list which are available by
L
a simple
admin
Google
capital
search.
P user share
So that's
user
all in using
share
Hydra to gain
word
access
list
to admin login of a router.
rockU.txt
Try it by yourself. If you face
T1ENS
any problem,
capital
post your
VDF
problem in
HTTP
Q&A
get
section. I'll reply as
index.asp.
soon as possible.
Now we see
Thank you
Hydra
for
finding the
watching this
username
video.
and password, which is admin and admin. Here is what the main Hydra commands are doing. Default gateway IP address will have to be changed to your target machine unless it is the same. The L admin is a switch saying to use admin as a username. Admin is very common default username. To use a word list, instead use a capital L along with the path to the dictionary. For example, L user share word list rockU.txt. The capital P switch is for the path to the word list to use on the password. In this case, rockU.txt is word list. Hydra has many commands and switches that can be used to personalize an attack. To see a full list and their meaning, type Hydra forward slash caution in a terminal window. The word list rockU that comes with Linux was used in this example. It does have to be extracted using gunzip before using. Refer to the section using the built-in Kali Linux word list to learn how to extract it. If rockU does not find a password, then other word lists can be used, which you have to create it by yourself or download password list which are available by a simple Google search. So that's all in using Hydra to gain access to admin login of a router. Try it by yourself. If you face any problem, post your problem in Q&A section. I'll reply as soon as possible. Thank you for watching this video.